Hello everybody, welcome to Harb'r Resort, and we're going to talk about lobsters. Our lobster season is just around the corner. We're a little late this year, not May 1st as it usually is, but we're going to open on May 15th. And I thought I'd give a little talk on what to look for in a good lobster, and how to clean a lobster, and one of my favorite ways to prepare a lobster. So first we'll talk a little bit about lobsters themselves. As you can see, this is a nice lively one, and that's what you want. If you don't have the luxury of living in Nova Scotia, pretty much all lobsters in Nova Scotia are nice and lively because we're never more than 60 kilometers from the ocean at any one time in Nova Scotia. So our lobsters are always nice and fresh. But you want ones that are nice and squirmy, very lively. That means that they're nice and fresh. As you can see, lobsters will normally have their little elastic bands on them in order to protect you from the big pinchers of a lobster. So you want to remove those elastic bands before you cook them. I just do it with my hands. You can cut them off with scissors if you want, but I just grab one of the elastic bands and pull them right off. You will taste the rubber in the water if you cook the lobsters with the rubber bands in the water. I've got a nice big pot of boiling water behind me. It's nice and salty. It should taste like the ocean. So we're going to do these lobsters one at a time in that water. And we're going to cook them in two different ways. One, we're going to cook just for a couple of minutes. We're going to do what's called blanching of the lobster. And we're going to cook it just for 5 minutes. And that's going to allow us to take the lobster out of the shell and get it organized and ready to sous vide, which is my favorite way to cook lobster. So this one here we're going to cook for 5 minutes, and I'm going to show you a little bit about how to cut up a lobster after that. Stop. Alright, through the magic of science, here we are 5 minutes later, and I have a lovely lobster here that has been blanched. This is the actual lobster. The other lobster is in the pot here. We're going to cook that lobster for 12 minutes. These are 1.5 pound lobster, and in order to cook the lobster fully so that you're ready to eat with mom, cook for 12 minutes for 1.5 pounds. Around 9 or 10 minutes for a 1 pound lobster, and then it sort of scales up from there if you have larger lobsters. So we're going to take this lobster apart, get it ready to sous vide. The easiest thing to do first is just grab one of the two claws, pull them right off. The tail pops right out as well. You just grab the tail and pull that tail out. Then we're going to take the lobster apart. First thing I like to do is split the back of the tail right apart. Big heavy knife. Pull the tail right out of the shell, like so. These two claws here we're going to break apart. And we're going to just a little crack right at the end of the shell here, and it should just sort of pop right off. These are beautiful fresh lobsters. Now whenever you're taking the flesh out of the shell, you want to make sure you have these two little cartilage pieces out of the claw. They're not very nice to eat. Two claws, nicely taken out of the shell. These little bits here are a little bit more challenging. You can use a cracker if you'd like. I use the knife. Just a little crack in the two parts of the knuckle. And they should just pop right open and pop out. And we have our little built-in lobster picks here. Lobsters come with their own built-in picks. Pop that flesh out of there. At the resort here, we get lobsters every other day, and especially during lobster season, they will have never left the ocean for more than about an hour when we get them in the door here, which is pretty amazing. So here we are, ready to sous vide our lobster. In my opinion, sous vide is the only way to do lobster. A quick blanch and then nice low temperature sous vide. You'll never have overcooked lobster, which is really, really important. As you know, or maybe you don't know, overcooked lobster is tough lobster. Tough lobster is just no good. Sous vide, has this whole, mystique around it, being complicated, being hard work, being all these things, but it really isn't. We have our little sous vide immersion circulator right here. I bought that one for my own personal use at Canadian Tire, about $100. They're very inexpensive. The things you can do with them are amazing. At home, you don't necessarily need to use a vacuum sealer. I'm going to use your standard Ziploc freezer bag here. I'll go through the steps of how to use that, okay? So we're going to take the lobster here. I'm going to slide that right into the Ziploc bag here, all the little pieces that go with it. 2 claws. Make sure you get all the good stuff in there. And then in that bag, we're also going to put a little bit of butter, some chopped herbs. I've got some parsley, dill, and a little bit of basil in there. A little bit of salt. Just a touch of white pepper. We have some lemon zest here. And then I'm going to take a couple of drops of lemon juice, just a couple of drops. And then of course, just a little drop of white wine as well. Now what you want to do at this stage here is you want to get as much of the air out of there as you can. And the main reason you want the air out of it is so that it'll sink and it'll sit in the immersed in the water. Hence the term immersion circulator. And you want the lobster to be fully immersed in water here. And as long as you sort of prop it up right, it'll sit there. And we're going to cook that at 135 degrees Fahrenheit for 12 minutes. And it'll never go above 135 degrees. Therefore, it'll always be perfectly cooked. All right, here we are, 12 minutes. Time flies when you're having fun. We've pulled the lobster out of the immersion circulator here, and we're going to just kind of display it on this plate here. Now, obviously, we're just doing lobster right now, but this is basically my favorite way to do lobster for an accompaniment for a dish. So you want to do a lobster pasta. This is the perfect application. Display your lobster on top. You want to do risotto, which is another big favorite of mine. We did a lot of lobster risotto just the other day on Mother's Day. If you want to do fondant potatoes and display them on top. And the nice thing about the way we've done this all is we have a little built-in sauce all ready to go there. So a little drizzle of this sauce on top here. And that sous vide lobster is ready to eat. I hope everybody enjoys lobster season. Eat as much as you possibly can. Lobster is good for you. And we hope to see you at Fox Harb'r.